Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to rip it up? Do you know what I'm talking about? Are you ready to give it up?
What a night we had last night for the dedication to Phil Lynott. It absolutely blew me away from start to finish. We had a wide range of musicians. We were spoiled, from Grand Slam to the Rockers to Eric Bell to Renegade, Darren, Wharton. It was a fantastic night. If some of you have been living under a rock, Thin Lizzy were one of the best bands in the world. Phil Lynott was possibly the best frontman ever. A poet, a rebel, an icon.
Nobody cared, nobody cried. Don't that make him feel sad?
To see guitarists like Lawrence Archer on stage last night, who played with UFO, and Phil, of course, was such a treat. Grand Slam to open the night, of course. Mike Dyer on vocals killed it, set the tone, sound was awesome, vibe in the crowd was cool, everybody was rocking. Like I said earlier, Thin Lizzy were a band who started out as a three-piece blues band, and we got a treat at the end of the night. We will get there. But yeah, started off as a three-piece blues band, kind of folky, elements of psychedelic, a little tiny bit maybe, but morphed into this hard rock and dual guitar sound. Probably the more iconic form of Thin Lizzy is the Scott Gorham, Brian Robertson, Brian Downey and Phil, of course. You know, the Jailbreak album was over my shoulder here. One of the best albums ever, possibly, in the 70s. What do you reckon?
What does Thin Lizzy mean to you?
It was the starting point for everything. Thin Lizzy, Phil Lynott, magic.
Okay, Jailbreak or Black Rose?
Probably Jailbreak.
Would you prefer the original kind of three-piece blues era or the hard rock and dual guitar?
Hard hitting the question straight away here, Gavin. I don't know, I probably prefer the two harmony guitars, but I love the three-piece lineup as well.
To walk into the Three Arena last night and to see people who have travelled from France, from Scandinavia, from England, from Wales, from America, all over the world, to come to Ireland and to celebrate Phil. I actually took a moment last night and I said it to my buddy. I'm like, man, I hope there's a heaven, because Phil would be just so happy right now to see the wide age group, for one, of people who are still rocking the Thin Lizzy, and two, that his legacy lives on. Phil will never die. Thin Lizzy will never die. And long live Thin Lizzy.
Nightlife or bad reputation?
If I had to, I'd say bad reputation. If I had to. What would I do after?
Who would you consider the best guitarist to have played with Thin Lizzy?
Jesus, man. I have to say Gary Moore.
Take it.
As a guitarist, Andrew, what is your favourite Lizzy song to play?
Probably the one I play most regularly is Boys Are Back in Town. And I love that tune, but the one that I've been most privileged to play is Black Rose. And not everyone gets a chance to play that one.
Brilliant.
Then we got a treat with the Rockers. I was looking forward to this one. Michael Kulbaka, of course, from Brian Downey's Alive and Dangerous. I had the pleasure of catching them a few last year in the academy. Michael is a Polish guy who's living in Ireland a long time now. One of the finest guitarists on this island right now, and a gentleman. Marco Mendoza, what do you say? What a legend. Absolute rock star persona. Played with Whitesnake, of course. Played on Bill Ward's first solo album. Played on some of the Journey stuff. And of course played on the One Night Only, the Thin Lizzy. But yeah, had a little chat with him. A gentleman. Loved him. Loved his aura. Loved everything about him. Gentleman. And he killed it. I just loved the vibe that the boys had on stage. It was so cool. Ricky Warwick, man, you can sing, my friend. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to rip it up? Do you know what I'm talking about? Are you ready to give it up? Are you ready to dance? Are you ready to give it up?
Ricky, of course, was in the Black Star Riders with Scott Gorham, but an absolutely master as well. Brilliant frontman, brilliant energy, lifted the crowd, absolutely brought that level to another level when the boys came on. Richie Fortis, the longest serving Guns N' Roses guitarist. What do you say? What a legend. To be 2 foot from Richie as he played, it blew my mind. It was a treat. It really was a treat. I hope you enjoyed it if you were there. Grant Nicholas as well on drums from the Godfathers. Brilliant. Absolutely killed it. Absolutely killed it. You know, and you have to remember the boys had a short time to put this together, to do a rehearsal, and they smashed it. Fair play to them. Brilliant.
What got you into Thin Lizzy?
I don't even need to think about that. My uncle Paddy Bradley was in a band, and as a 4 or 5 year old, I got up to play Whiskey in the Jar with them. And then a few years later after that, of singing that song regularly, I found out that it was from a band called Thin Lizzy. So you hear the boys are back in town and everything, and then the rocket is lit and on from there. So yeah, Whiskey in the Jar brought me to Thin Lizzy.
What is your go-to Thin Lizzy album?
That's changing in later years. Sometime last year, a mate of mine who runs a podcast called That Sound Podcast sent me into a serious Vagabonds of the Western World phase, so we did, like, you know. But come here, Live and Dangerous, I always go back to Live and Dangerous, always.
So, if you were to pick studio or live albums, what would you go with?
Bearing in mind that Live and Dangerous was mixed in the studio a lot, I'm still going to go for Live and Dangerous. Whether it's a live or studio album, it's a moment in time. I love Live and Dangerous.
And your go-to guitarist?
Go-to guitarist. Okay, Gary Moore is very obvious, right? But Snowy White, I really love the brief but excellent work Snowy White did. And John Sykes must not be forgotten. He really must not. So John Sykes or Snowy White for me.
We've got one more question for you, Chris, on the tech side of things. If you had to choose for the ultimate Thin Lizzy sound, are you going with a Gibson Les Paul or a Stratocaster?
Gibson Les Paul.
All day long.
Andrew?
Let's go to Strat.
Ribs?
It's hard to say. Chris is probably right with the Les Paul.
Then we had the RTÉ Orchestra, which was brilliant. It was a nice treat. It was a different level, I won't lie. But it worked. It really did. And different musicians came in and out. Ricky came out. Marco came out. There was a lot of different musicians in and out. It was a nice touch. And then the kids came out and it was brilliant. And as I said earlier, to see the younger age group come out and you know, represent Phil and, you know, they obviously learned about Thin Lizzy and it's brilliant. There's another generation coming through repping Thin Lizzy. Hopefully we get a few fans out of them.
The sadness, it never ceases. Oh, I'm still in love with you. My head, it keeps on reeling. It's got me in a crazy spin.
And then to close the night, we had Darren Wharton's Renegade. What a treat. I looked forward to this one too. First time seeing him and I was impressed. Darren's vocals were on point. The keys, brilliant. Finney and Andy on lead absolutely smashed it as well. And to see the stacks of Marshall amps on stage was just a treat. It's the only word to describe it. Nigel on bass as well, brilliant. And Greg on drums, yeah, brilliant. Again, people were coming in and out throughout that performance as well, which was cool. And then to finish it all off, we had the legend. Eric Bell came out and played Whiskey in the Jar, and that was a treat. Again, that was the first time that I got to see him.
I said, stand in the river, while the devil, he will take you. Basically, when
great to have Dave Fanning as well, MCing the night, and Dave told some great stories about Phil. Check it out.
Okay, so I was at a party in London. I don't know what it was. I can't even remember. I don't know why I was there. And like, I know that Kate Bush was in the room, but I never saw her. It's terrible. And Philo was there, and he knew who I was because I'd interviewed him. By the way, I'd interviewed him on pirate radio with a tape recorder in a hotel in Dublin, and I've lost the tape within 10. I know it's pathetic. I know it's sad. Anyway, the point is that I was there in London, and he came over to me. And he was so fucking nice about it all. He said, blah, 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 come over and meet him. So he introduced me to David Gilmour. Come on, that was pretty good. I was amazed. I couldn't believe it. And I never saw Kate Bush or anybody else, but he was so nice about it. It was just so fantastic. And then later on, he was on the radio with me loads of times, etc. He did a session for us. Terry Woods, from the Woods band to the Pogues. Terry Woods, he did a session, 4 numbers. One of them is Tennessee Stood, which I fucking love. The version they did was so good. And all the time on the radio, he was fantastic. Just 2 things about Philo that I want to say myself. I possibly think that somebody else has said this before, but I don't know. Philo, which was played earlier on, a song called Dublin. Now, this is going to sound really corny, but you know, like Dublin was always in, like, you know, traditional music, which my brother was really into. He was in the Peabody, he was a bloody player of the pipes. He was useless. And also, folk music was big in our house. But I was only into pop or rock or whatever. And Philo had a song called Dublin. I've never heard a song called Dublin in rock music. He mentioned Grafton Street. It was just a moment. I went, what's going on here? It was just so brilliant. It was so, I don't know what it was. That was just one thing about him. The second thing was, in terms of how nice he was when I met David Gilmour. And I met David Gilmour, I bet you didn't. And the other thing is that when he was on the radio, the last thing I was going to say, he called me out to his house one day in 1984. And in one way it's a sad story, but he wanted to give me this book, which is called, you know, the full works of Phil Lynott, or whatever it's called. But it wasn't called Dead, it was called Full. Like, he knew he was going to release another volume in 20 years' time. In 1984, that never happened. But he brought me in, what do you call it? Caroline was there. She was going out shopping or something. And he wanted to give me a book signed of all his works, which was just fantastic. And he wrote this absolutely gorgeous kind of thing, which was really nice. I said, brilliant, put it down on the desk. We went outside. I didn't even know that the beach was outside his house. So I'm sitting there with him for about 45 minutes, and he said, look, whatever happened, the Greedy Bastards was just a joke, you know, which it was. Like, that was everybody from, I don't know, Chris Spedding to Bob Geldof, etc. And there was a couple of Sex Pistols. That was like, what, 78, 79? And then he had the next band, which was Grandson. And like, no matter how much he really wanted that to work, we did a full tour of about whatever it was, you know, 70 or 80 gigs. It was really going well, but the record company didn't get behind it, and it just didn't work. So in '84, he said, look, and this is something you probably have never said to anybody you've done. He just said, look, I'm going to get this shit together. I'm going to do my thing. I never thought of him as being not in great health. I mean, if you listen to the interviews between 80 and 81, and then 84 on the radio, sweet Jesus, I mean, his voice is gone, you know, it's a different thing altogether. But he just said straight out, he said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to fucking get a new band together. And this is the one thing he said was, I'm not going to London. I'm going straight to America. We built up enough of the thing there. The albums hadn't done brilliantly, but they'd all got into the charts. They hadn't got to number 3 and 4 as they had in Britain. It was going to work. And then a year or 2 later, he died. That's the last time I saw him. So, you know, whatever.
Dave Fanning. It's 40 years gone today. In my heart. It's in my fucking heart. So if you've got a glass, now is the time to raise it. 40 years gone. Phil Lynott, never forget. Let's do it.
Overall, I thought it was a great night. I think it was what was needed to represent Phil on this big anniversary, 40 years. Same year I was born, which is crazy. But a big, big thank you to LOR Productions for looking after us on the night, and a shout out to Lloyd for really taking care of us. Big thank you. Overall, I thought it was it was a throwback to 70s, 80s music for me, with a modern twist on it with the likes of Ricky and stuff like that, and Michael and the boys. But to see the Stax and Marshall on stage, to see the crowd, you know, travel for this event, it makes you proud to be Irish, and proud that Thin Lizzy came from our island. You know, people will say U2 were the biggest thing. They come out of Ireland. Yeah, but were they the best? I'd question it. I think Thin Lizzy were a better band overall. That's just my opinion. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to all the bands that came and travelled. You left an impression on a lot of people, including myself, and hopefully another generation will go back and listen to when music was good and rocking. So stick around. Plenty of more stuff. We have a lot of Thin Lizzy content. I hope you enjoy it. Keep rocking. Remember Phil. Always remember Phil.